welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Katelyn and I like to film eyeshadow palette ranking and review videos, as well as the occasional other content sprinkled in. So if you like indie makeup, if you like eyeshadow palettes, if you like me, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button because I post 2 videos every single week. And for those of you that are not new here, my face is happy that you are seeing it again. And I have an exciting video for today. We are revisiting the palettes that I purchased in the month of May, giving either a first impression look because I didn't film a video with the palette, or giving a follow-up look and thoughts on the palette if I did already use the palette and showcase it in a dedicated video. So anyways, let's go ahead and get on into look number 1. Okay, this is the first time I'm trying out the Sigma Beauty Cool Neutrals palette. I don't think I'm going to do a dedicated video. I haven't bought any other palettes in May, so this might be the only one. I guess I'm filming this part ahead of time, so the intro will have cleared this up for all of you. It's just me that's confused. Anyways, here's the palette. It is, let's give some info since I won't have a dedicated video. 12-month open container, made in China. What are we working with ingredients-wise? Mica. I don't know if talc is in here. I'm not seeing it, but this is also very small print. For sure it has mica. It is PETA approved, vegan. That is about it. Okay. Here is the inside of the palette. It comes with this little insert, which if it's a cool insert, I always keep it. If it's just a plain, like, clear one, I take it out. But anyways, here we go. You get a dual-ended brush, which, you know, I know some people hate on palettes having brushes, but for me, as if it's a Sigma brush, I don't mind it. Dual-ended is a little bit annoying though. I have swatched this palette, but I haven't done anything else with it. And if you've watched any of my videos, I shouldn't say any, if you've seen some of my other videos, I always talk about how I love a warm crease with a cool toned shimmer. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. I know this palette is called Cool Neutrals and it bugged people that there were warm neutrals in here, but I'm okay with it. So we're going to start with the shade Harvest. And I'm just using the fluffy brush that the palette came with. I have primed my lids with my About Face Shadow Fix Primer. I haven't used a Sigma palette in a while. I feel like the Cinderella one was the last one that I used. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I ever picked up the Alice in Wonderland one. I think it was the Cinderella one. And I ended up decluttering that one. Not that there was anything wrong with it. I actually liked that palette. I just didn't reach for it a whole bunch. And I didn't have other Sigma palettes, and when you have a collection as big as mine, you gotta just, like, you know, you gotta make hard choices. But I think that's the only palette of theirs I've ever featured on my channel is the Cinderella one. All right, I'm gonna grab a bigger brush because I need to blend this out a little bit more. I'm not gonna put any product on it first just to see if I can blend it out without, like, translucent powder or anything. If this looks like it went a little bit more cool toned, I don't think this brush was clean. So whoopsies. I'm gonna combine Superior and Volcanic just to go back and forth between the two to create something a little bit more mid-tone. It's probably gonna get really muddy because I feel like I just added like a gray shade unintentionally to the crease. Oh well, we will survive. Check that your brushes are clean, folks. Or also just like clean your brushes regularly. Most of my brushes are dirty. I just thought that that happened to be a clean one. Okay, so now I'm going to just take Volcanic by itself. We're going to try and use this other side. I'm going to go into, of the brush that it came with, I'm going to go into the shade Iris, and that is the shade that I want to put on my lid. I did spray it with some spray to wet my brush. I was just trying to think of, like, why I love a warm crease with a cool shimmer, but I don't know that I ever do a cool crease with a warm shimmer. I'll have to think on that, but that's not something I ever do, at least not with, like, neutrals. Although I don't know if I'd say these are warm. To be fair, I mean, this side looks more warmer than this side. I think this side got more of that gray shade from that brush that was dirty. I'm gonna go in with this pink shade. I was debating between Laguna and Thunder, but I think Thunder's gonna be too dark for the brown we use, so we're gonna go in with Laguna. I like it so far. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back and show you the finished look. I'm gonna do the same mattes on bottom that I did up top, but I'll talk through anything that I change. Here's the finished look several hours later, like 8 or 9. But anyways, I like it. I think that this palette, I don't know, part of me wishes there was like a true silver in it, although this lilac shade I guess does pull like on the silver, so I'm trying to ask myself, like, this lilac lavender shimmer and a silver, like what would really be the difference. And I don't know that there's a huge one, so I do feel like this is nice. But yeah, I like it so far. I feel like the mattes blended nicely. The shimmers worked really nicely. They're sparkly, but don't enhance texture. Easy to apply. Liked that. And yeah, if you're curious, I am wearing the Alexia wig from Chelsea Smith Crowns. I think there's 2 colors. This is like the blonde blend, which I'm pretty sure is sold out. But anyways, that is it from me for this look. Let's move on to the next look.
Okay, so my husband and baby were hanging out in the room with me and getting ready to take a nap, so I didn't want to be like chit-chatty and loud. And anyways, so first shade I started off with, it was either Tranquil or Warm Sand. Part of me feels like it was Warm Sand. Yeah, it was definitely Warm Sand because I used Tranquil in the second part. You'll see in a few. Anyway, so I started out with Warm Sand in the crease. Then we went in with Coral. And then I'm pretty sure I also went in with Coastal. But I also think I smoked a little bit of Deep Sea into the outer corner to just add some more depth because Coastal wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be. And then shimmers that I put on the lid were Serene and Sunset, which are the 2 shimmers on the far right side of the palette in like the pinky columns. Anyways, so we did mostly like a warm pinky brown crease with the pink and purple duochrome shimmer on the lid. And then you'll see what we do for the lower lash line in a second.
Okay, audio is live because my husband and the baby moved to a different room. But I think I'm going to go, the only shades I haven't used yet are Tranquil, Sea Breeze, and Wave. I kind of want to just try, I'm going to try and put those on the lower lash line. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start with Deep Sea to like sort of, since we used that up top, like maybe that'll blend together a little bit more. I haven't committed to a wig or a waterline color yet, so, because I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do on the lower lash line. So I didn't want to commit to anything in the waterline until I figured that out. So now I'm going to go into Sea Breeze, which is the darkest like teal shade. I'm going to go kind of the same spot, maybe a little bit more in. And really, you could just have like matched the mattes from up top on bottom. I'm doing this mainly so I can finish out my review, use as many shades as possible, but you don't have to do that. Now, I feel like Wave's going to be too dark for me, so I'm going to mix it with Seaside, but I am going to use both shades. I'm going to go back into Deep Sea, and we're going to put a little bit more on the top to help blend this better. Just a little bit more cohesion. And then I'm going to take Tranquil, run that right here. Ooh, that orange with that teal. Oh, that's fun. I should do a full look with those colors. I really like that color combo that we got going on down there. Okay, so now I'm going to put Serene. I'm going to just wrap that around the inner corner. I think the blue with the orange, if that was like all one look, would be really pretty. The blue with the pink with the orange is kind of a lot for me, but it's okay. So if I were you, I'd recreate either the top half or the bottom half. Oh. So that's pretty much it. I have to commit to an outfit, a wig, and my brows basically, and then also my lips. But I will come back and show the finished look. Okay, here is the finished look. You saw it in the intro, so you knew where we were going with it, but here it is. I really like how this look turned out. If I look really shiny, it's because it is 1,000,000 degrees outside and I'm sweating, and I just need to wrap this up really fast. But overall thoughts on the palettes, palette that I purchased in May and then palette that I received in PR. Again, no obligation to post on this one, just love Simply Posh, and I love this palette. So the Coastal palette I really like. I think these shimmers are beautiful. They give a very shiny wet look to the lid. I do have like a little bit of creasing. Again, it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, so I'm really sweating, so are my eyelids apparently, but it's just that shade Sunset that I've noticed some creasing on. I don't think there's really any creasing with Serene, it's just Sunset, and it's more fading than creasing. Anyways, long story short, I really like how the look looks. I have worn it for a few hours because I went out and then came back, so anywho, overall thoughts on Coastal, highly recommend. If you like that color story, if that palette is intriguing you, I don't think you can go wrong with it. As far as the Cool Neutrals palette,
if you're solely like a neutral lover, maybe you would like it. If you have like a darker skin tone than me, you might like it as well. But for me personally, I'm just not a fan of that palette and kind of wish I didn't purchase it. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the two palettes for May. Let me know what you think of both looks in the comments, and if you picked up either of these palettes, yes or no, why not, all the things. I will chat with you down there, and I will see you all next time. Bye!